Hi, it's Sandy Wyllie. Welcome to my mental health channel, where I wipe away the stigma of mental illness by talking about my own struggles having borderline personality disorder, complex post-traumatic stress disorder. I talk about anxiety and panic attacks. I talk about my depression. I talk about narcissism and my narcissistic mother. I also talk about schizophrenia, and I wrote a book, Life with My Schizophrenic Father. And the link to that book is down below in the details. I also talk about my unethical therapist who sexually abused me. And the links to those books too are down below in the details. They're available right now on Amazon. And I talk about a plethora of other mental health related topics. But I only come on as a former patient of almost 20 years. I am not a licensed therapist. I do not hold a degree in psychology, so I cannot diagnose you. All I ask in turn of you is your kindness and respect, please, in the comments. Please be kind to me, be kind to other people, and respectful. We don't need to agree on everything. Variety is the spice of life, but we do need to show each other respect and kindness always. Now, if you are new to my channel, welcome. Please hit that little box below in the lower right hand corner that says subscribe. It's 100% free. So that way you'll be notified whenever a new video of mine comes out. Give it a thumbs up, like it, and share it with your friends on social media. And let's spread the love. Let's grow this community so that we all can learn from each other and make new friends. I love to hear your comments. Please feel free to share your own thoughts, your own struggles, your own opinions with me. I will always write you back. Now, today's video is about codependency and how to heal from it. Codependency is an unbalanced relationship where one person helps support another person's self-destructive behavior. And the best example of codependency is that song Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. How many people know about that song? I love that song. You got a fast car. Is it fast enough to take us out of here? We gotta make a decision. Leave tonight or live or die this way. I don't know, word for word of it. But in the song Fast Car by Tracy Chapman, Google it if you don't know it and listen to it on YouTube. That is all about a codependent relationship. She had to drop out of school to support her alcoholic father because her mother left him because she wanted something better in her life than what he could give her. So in the song, she says, I had to take care of him because who was left to take care of him? And so she worked and he just continued to go to bars and get drunk, and she's supporting him. She's enabling his alcoholism by, instead of walking out on him and then, he'd be faced to how's he going to support himself. See, she quit her job, basically gave up her life, and she was enabling an alcoholic. So this is about codependency. I mean, codependency can happen because a person is very emotionally immature or has a lot of mental illnesses or addictions, like in that song, the father was an alcoholic. It's a one-sided relationship where the other person really isn't. The person thinks they're helping. The codependent person thinks they are helping the person dependent on them, but they're really not. They're enabling bad, destructive behavior. And this happened in my in several of my therapies, actually. This happened with Dr. Richard Geist. He enabled me to be sexual with him by allowing me to sit in his lap and touching his penis. See, that's enabling unethical, bad behavior. He was an enabler. And he's done this with all his other patients by being available 24/7, inviting them to his home in Maine when he goes on vacation, never saying no to them, allowing phone calls in the middle of the night. This kind of behavior is enabling people to not be able to do for themselves. So they're totally dependent on someone else to fill the void in their life, to fill their needs, their wants, and everything. And the person never learns how to take care of themselves and how to, without that other person, they're helpless. They're completely helpless. So the codependent person is a people pleaser. They try to fix other people's problems. That's why it's very common, I guess, in psychologists and therapists, because what is the role of a therapist? The role of a therapist is someone who tries to fix other people's problems, helps people with their problems. But except they have to be very careful, like in the case of Dr. Richard Geist, where he enables codependency, where he doesn't teach people how to self-soothe themselves. How he just allows people to call him up any hour of the night or day, come over even on his vacation. There's no boundaries. So in a codependent relationship, there's no boundaries. The person can't say no. They'll do anything to hold on to the relationship. They're so afraid, like in the song Fast Car, she was so afraid that if she didn't leave school, quit school and take care of her father, that she would lose her father. So you're overly concerned in someone else's needs that you're not taking care of your own needs. You're not looking after yourself. You're enabling the destruction of another person, even if you think that you're helping that person. You're not helping that person. You're enabling them to not to be able to function without you. They're totally like a helpless baby, like an infant. They're like an infant. And Dr. Richard Geist did infantize me by allowing me to sit in his lap, by not expecting me to pay for any of the sessions. All the sessions were free. I didn't give him 1 red cent. I could call him up even on his vacation 24/7. He invited me to his home. So he was enabling me not to be able to take care of myself. Like a parent would enable. Here's another example of codependency. If you have a parent who has a grown adult child at home who doesn't work or doesn't go to school and is not contributing to the household, all they're doing, you like this new mic I got? This is my first day using it. I don't know how well it's gonna do. So if this video doesn't sound right to you, maybe I won't use it anymore. I don't know. But if you're enabling your adult child to sponge off of you, you're, taking care of your adult child financially, and they're not paying anything to live at your home, and all they do is lay around all day or play video games, or they're not working. That's not helping. You may think that you're helping your adult child, but you're not. You're not teaching your child how to function on their own, because you're not going to live forever. What's going to happen, and to you when you no longer can take care of, and what's going to happen to them. So this is really not a good thing for either person in the relationship. Okay. So what can you do to heal from this kind of bad situation? First off, you have to assess your relationship with the other person. Should you get out of that relationship? And I'll just take the example fast car, okay? She should have said, Dad, you need to get a job. I can't support you. I have my own life. I can help you, but I can't support you. I want to go to school. I want to get a career. I can't give up my life for you, Dad. You need to go to AA. That's the first step. You need to go to AA. And then if the father refuses to do all this and he's still continuing the same bad habits, then the next step would be to say, okay, assess this situation. Should you pull out of the situation? This situation is only detrimental to you. It's hurting you. It's not helping the other person because they're still drinking as heavy as ever. So who is this relationship helping? No one, right? In that case, in that song Fast Car, it certainly wasn't helping her father because he kept drinking and drinking. And it wasn't helping her because she dropped out of school and had to get a job at a convenience store. I love the song, so I know the lyrics. I don't know it in order though, but yeah, she got a job, just like a very low paying job, just to be able to put food on the table for him. So if the relationship is not helping anyone, then it's time to detach, leave the relationship, get out of that situation, because it's not helping you because you're giving up your own life, and it's not helping the person you're enabling to continue the bad habits. If they're not going to get help, if they're not going to go to AA, if they're not going to do anything for themselves, and you still continue helping them, what's the point? You see what I'm saying? You're hurting yourself and you're hurting the other person. You're enabling the behavior because nothing is getting better in that situation. So you do need to set some clear boundaries with the person and then see what happens. You need to make clear boundaries with that person. And if they're not going to respect those boundaries, like saying, like I'm using that song, Fast Car from Tracy Chapman as an example. If she said, Dad, you need to go to AA, you need to start trying to cut down on your drinking, and then you need to try to find a job after that. But if the father is not doing that, not following through on that, then she has to assess the situation and say, okay, maybe it's time that I need to, unfortunately, break off from my father and think about myself. Otherwise, two people are going down the rabbit hole. You see what I'm saying? Two people's lives are destroyed. She could still save her own life. She's a young girl in the song. I'm just using the song as an example. She could still save her own life, but if she's going to keep enabling this codependent relationship, then she's giving up her life, and the father, because of his heavy drinking, is giving up his life. So you lost two people. You need to get, I would highly recommend getting therapy because you need to have a lot of support if you're in a codependent relationship. Now, I know I don't push therapy because I've had very bad experiences in therapy, but I think that you need to have some sort of support system yourself. If you're in a codependent relationship, you need to have some support system yourself. So this is where I'd say that you need to have other people to back you up, and maybe you can go into AA yourself, even though you are not the one who has the alcohol problem. But I heard that AA is helpful for other people, family members of alcoholics too. It's not just the person that is the alcoholic. It's also for that person's family too. So maybe you could go into AA You can get therapy because you really do need to have a support system. Because a codependent dependent person, like, they never ask anything of themselves. They always try to please someone else. They don't they take responsibility for other people. They don't they're they're so um, wrapped up in what other people think of them, and trying to please other people, that they really they get burned out. This is one of the major, symptoms of being codependent. You get totally burnt out. So you're doing harm to your own body. You're doing harm physically to your body, and you're doing harm mentally to yourself. So you have to build a solid relationship with yourself. You have to take care of yourself. All right. And the first step is by setting boundaries and by detaching from that relationship. The second step is trying to get some help through therapy or an AA program or some kind of group help for you, because you're not taking care of yourself when you're not helping the other person either, um, though you're trying to. See, when you keep saying yes and you don't know how to say no to the other person, um, you're saying no to yourself by saying yes to them. You're saying that you're not important. Your needs aren't important. Your wants aren't important. Um, like her saying, my going to college is not important. I'm going to drop out of school. My having a life outside of just working and taking care of my father is not important to me to have a life. So you just become a doormat in a sense. And then you'll grow resentments. Um, you'll burn out physically. You might get sick because you'll completely collapse. You'll burn out because no one can go on like that. So you need to think of yourself. You need to take care of yourself. You need to assess the situation after you've put down firm boundaries. If they assess the situation, seeing if they are respecting your boundaries. And if they're not respecting your boundaries, then you need to detach yourself from them. And just need to take care of yourself. Get some help yourself. This is also from childhood traumas, okay? Codependency. I don't know, because I'm not a psychologist, maybe it was you became such a people pleaser because you had to take care of a sick parent. Maybe your parent was alcoholic. Maybe your parent was in a deep depression and you became the parent as a child. You had to parent your parent. See what I'm saying? I'm just taking guesses as to why an adult would become codependent. I would think that just like everything else that we learn about, it all stems from childhood trauma. And not all childhood trauma looks the same. You might have had a mother or a father that was deeply depressed, was an alcoholic, even though they didn't physically or verbally abuse you. Maybe they weren't present for you. Maybe they weren't mentally present because they couldn't be, because they had an addiction problem. Or maybe they weren't mentally present because they had a mental health issue like depression, or they had a personality disorder like borderline, like me, like borderline personality disorder. I'm sure I couldn't be completely present with my son, who ironically is in the mental health care career. It seems like people who have had traumatic past go into mental health, try to, heal or fix thyself. So that's just a few examples of ideas, I guess, of what you can do. I hope that you uh, go on YouTube and play that song, Tracy Chapman, Fast Car, because that really depicts codependent relationship. Um, and give me your thoughts. Please let me know if you are in a codependent relationship, if you know someone in a codependent relationship, if you struggle with codependency yourself, let me know that. My marriage is kind of like a codependent relationship where my husband takes care of me and doesn't, I'm really not independent from my husband. So he's enabling me. Um, I he supports me financially. He supports me emotionally. Uh, I haven't worked in a long time, and I haven't been in therapy, so I don't have friends. So he's supporting me financially. He's supporting me emotionally. So, and he's neglecting himself a lot because of me. So I am in that dynamic in my marriage. So I will come on here and admit that there is a codependency where my husband, you know, is codependent, enabling me. Well, and I've turned to alcohol too. So, and like I really can't take care of myself. If my husband died, what would I do? These videos aren't making me any money. So I'd be in a lot of trouble. Plus, I don't even drive. I drive maybe around the neighborhood, but I don't really drive. Drive. I'm a very limited driver. So I don't really drive. I don't make money. I could never support myself. I have no friends or family. Um, so, so who would I go? Who would I turn to? So, and my husband, does everything for me. So that kind of makes him get burnt out from it, neglects his wants and needs. And I'll be honest with you that there is that in my marriage. There's a codependency in my marriage. It's not healthy, but at least I'm recognizing it from doing these videos and coming on to you and admitting it to you that yeah, he doesn't have a support system. He should get a support system, maybe get into his own therapy and try to work on ways where he gets his needs met and be able to say no and set more boundaries with me. So I'm even seeing it in my own relationship with my husband. So that's the video for today. I hope this microphone worked because someone said that the sound quality on my videos wasn't that well. So I got me a microphone, and this is the very first time using it. So let me know if you think the sound quality is better, worse, or no different. All right, give me your opinions. Let me know, and let's continue this discussion. Until next time.